All right, Johnny.
Tim.
We had to wait a long time for this 1125, the high aspect from Armstrong. Look at that thing. In comparison to the 1850, the 1850 ruled the water waves in terms of stealing waves from other boats, in terms of long pump outs and movement. But you can see this is a very different shape. Here's the 1850 mid aspect wing, and on top of it is the HA high aspect, HA1125 from Armstrong. Notice in the front how much thinner it is in terms of the 1850. Look at that wingspan in terms of how wide it is. I mean, that thing looks like a blade. There's still a place in the world for the 1850, and we'll talk about that. But this 1125, oh my gosh, it's a game changer, Johnny.
It is. In the comparison, it's hard to compare because nothing quite looks like this foil. This is a blade. You could use it for foiling. You could also take out a nation state with it. This rides the way it looks.
Yeah.
It's an absolute blade. What does that do for your riding? Well, it's amazing. This wing behind the boat, and I think really, like, you know, the application might be for downwind.
Yeah.
It might be for you know,
downwind winging,
wind foiling. This foil is amazing because what it gives you is this thing pumps like a dream.
Yeah.
This is an extremely fast foil. And when I say extremely fast, I mean it's stable at super high speeds behind the boat, 25, 30 miles per hour, super stable.
Yeah, we actually took it, we did a speed test.
Speed test.
And so we took this thing, when we do speed tests, and hopefully we got a little footage that we'll put right there, or right there. But we go ahead and put, you know, just increments of speed, taking it out, starting at about 16, taking it all the way up to about 24, 26, 28, to the point where we see it actually get to where we need to calm it back down.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing's fast. It handled it.
All foils, you take them up to a certain speed, they'll start producing their own turbulence off the wing of the foil. This is a high speed foil. Behind the boat, what's amazing about it is when you pump this thing, this is a fast wing, so it likes to be going fast.
Right.
And when you pump, you're pumping, you put energy into it, you get up to cruising pumping speed, you're going about 14 miles an hour. So what does that mean? What it means is you can pump out and now you're going faster than the boat. And the boat might be going 11, 10 miles an hour. It's crazy.
It was amazing. The first time Johnny took this off the side and went for a fish ladder transition, he went way out. He was in front of the boat because it pumps so darn fast.
It pumps extremely fast. This foil, when you're riding it, high aspect foils, they ride a little different than the surf wings. Surf wings, they'll almost kind of right themselves. So, you know, you go to initiate a turn, you can feel it kind of coming around. High aspect wings, once you put them on angle, they stay on angle. They kind of go where you set them. So they need user input at all times to be able to steer and pilot that foil correctly.
When in a wave, yeah.
When in a wave. So, you know, this is an advanced foil. I would not recommend it for beginners. Number one, it's a blade, right? You don't want to lawn chair onto something like this.
Yeah.
And number two, it takes some experience, input from the rider to be able to work it. What it does give you though behind the boat is probably the most unique feel I felt in a foil, because your range is so much. You can pump this thing hundreds of yards away from the boat, come back in and successfully reconnect with third wave, fourth wave, sixth wave. Behind the boat on the first wave, your turns, you can draw out bottom turns and carve the thing
super wide,
super well.
And I would actually say, like those bottom turns and that surfing, the amount of G-force pressure that you get when you go to turn these is it's as close to the pressure you feel when you're prone foil surfing in the ocean that you'll feel behind the boat, because it loads. It really loads up. And so if you're not a good foiler, if you're not an advanced foiler, when you load that up, it's gonna wanna really throw you. and it's going to want to potentially put you in an interesting position. So that's why we recommend it for people who know how to foil. But the nice thing is, with some high aspect wings, you lose the ability to carve nicely. This thing carves nicely.
It carves nicely.
I have a big smile on my face when I'm riding this, because you can just carve it. It's really fun, but you have to be prepared. So this is going to be, you know, for somebody who's ready to deal with those G-forces, that's going to get back to you. And again, right now we're talking about behind the boat.
Yep, behind the boat, or, you know, if you're really into pumping, you want to, you know, be able to pump hundreds and hundreds of yards, and that's something that you're working on.
If you're a flat water lake guy, you know, and you want to pump, this thing is going to get the job done for you. And you know, the thing is, keep in mind, we have a bias towards, we like riding waves.
Right.
And so when we talk about high aspect, our goal is always, we want to pump long distances to get to another wave. And it would be unacceptable for us to have a wing that doesn't carve nicely when we're in those waves. This is a nice mix.
It's a nice mix.
You know, if you have the capability, we can't wait to actually wing foil this. I would say the one thing that was unique about this, for a wing that pumps so well, when you compare it to the 1850, you know, the 1850, which pumps pretty nicely, it doesn't have the speed of this, and you certainly can pump this a longer distance, but look at just the overall size. You know, this is gonna fall from the sky at, when you come off speed, this will fall down much more quickly. You can stand on this 1850 for a longer period of time. And what I mean by that is, when you come off that speed, off of 14, 12, 10, whatever, because there's less surface area, that's gonna fall down out of the sky more easily, more quickly than the 1850. And so, you know, a lot of people have asked the question, you know, do I still want the 1850 in addition to the 1125? You know, these are very different, they're different wings. The 1850 is a ton of fun behind the boat as you go back in waves, and because it has a lower stall speed, you have a little bit of more flexibility when you're coming back into the waves. This one, you have the speed, you have the carving, you need a little bit more advanced skills to be able to ride it, but oh my God, it is such a fun wing to ride.
Absolutely.
This one actually, it challenged both John and I to change our riding style because it's so fast. The first time I did a wave transition from left to right, and then I came back from 2 to 3, I was already on 3 before I knew what to do, so I missed it. I was in front of the wave because it's so fast.
Yeah, what's unique is you can be on the third wave, and because you have more speed than the boat when you're pumping, you can pump forward from third wave up to the second wave. I'm pretty sure you could go, you know, a few more hours on this thing, you go second wave to first wave, but it's simply amazing in the speed that it pumps and how efficient it is through the water. It's super cool.
And the pumping, when you combine this, you know, again, we put this on the pre-A+ system, and you know, it worked fine. And then we put it on the A+ system, and having that extra stiffness and the fuse made a difference. And the thing is, once you got this up, pumping wise, there's a platform. Right. So it just goes, and so long as you maintain your speed, you know, it's gonna stay up there, and you can pump as long as your endurance will let you pump. And when you slow down, it's gonna come down. So for the wing foilers, I think this is gonna be a blast. We're gonna, hopefully it looks like we might have some wind today. We'll get it out there, we'll test it. We'll probably do another short video around this for wing foiling, but it's gonna be fantastic wing foil. It's really gonna glide well for people. The one difference is when your speeds are lower, you know, you're gonna fall from the sky more quickly than you would with the 1850 or the 1550, probably more similar to when you'd fall with the 1250. But when you have speed and this thing's going, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and one thing I'd add with this is, in the ocean, if you wake up, you're kind of in a bad mood, you're like, you know, I'm sick of my buddies out in the lineup getting waves. You're a good foiler, throw this on, teach them a lesson.
Yeah, teach them a lesson.
Because in the ocean, you could probably reconnect as many waves as you want, and you know, pump halfway out to sea.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy thing. This will maintain its glide in small bumps, open water waves coming through, what we call Jesus waves.
Yeah.
Or like out in the ocean, like literally you can paddle out past the suffers, you know, past the buoys, some crab pots, maybe some oil rigs, turn around and pump it on that little bump, then you come back in the lineup and you're connecting waves.
Yeah, so we had a great time just testing this wing, and so you've seen us ride Jesus waves before, and that's when a big boat goes by at a high speed, leaves a resonant wave for us to ride. We were going down and just going from boat wave to boat wave, riding these resonant waves. It was an absolute blast. It was so much fun. And so this, for the rider who's ready for it, this is a really fun wing behind the boat. You know, what did Sky get on this thing? Like a 9-minute ride or something like that in the ocean?
Sky's doing 9-minute, 11-minute sustained 4, 6, 8 waves back and forth. So,
just reconnecting.
Pump machine.
But I will tell you, even Sky, who's a very advanced rider, is like, it takes a little bit to get used to this. You know, as it relates to wake and in the ocean. I think when we take this to wing foil, it's not going to take long to get used to it all, because it carves quite nicely, it sustains glide, and it's really fast. So, hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any questions whatsoever, call that number right there, come to our website, shoot us an email. You know how to get in contact with us. We hope you enjoyed this. Our goal in life is just to help you get stoked, get out on the water, have fun. Aloha. Mahalo. All right, see you later.